Hey, what is going on, crypto people? So, listen, what in the world? Adam Sosnick. What in this video is going to be? This is a non-crypto video. So, if you're here for Bitcoin dominance, this is not the video for you. Adam Sosnick. What in the world? A Valuetainment. What did this dude just do? This is what I'm going to say. Come on, bro. Stop. Stop being a moron. What the world was that video and your post on X? What was that about? Come on, bro. You cannot really believe what you're saying or what you said. You can't really believe that. We're gonna get into it, guys. This dude, uh, just look, he just pointed out one of the biggest challenges in this country, right? There's a certain demographic, and I'm gonna show you Adam here in a second. There's a certain demographic in America just believes that they can be judge, jury, and God, Lord, and Savior over some other demographics, decisions, choices, purposes in life. Adam, come on, Adam. You could do better than that, bro. Horrible. Listen, I'm going to share this video with you guys. This is from Valuetainment. And I want you to see if you catch what I catch from Patrick David on this one. All right, guys, let's get into this video. Unfreaking believable. Do I have to share it? I guess I would have to share. Let's share this video with you guys. This is unbelievable. Where is my share screen? Oh, there it is. Take a listen to this. Go here. I could share. Okay, that don't work. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Let's go share here. So just take a listen to this. Patrick David, he's a smart guy. I got something for Patrick David too, but let's take a listen to this.
And I look at this, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So apparently Adam has triggered Chelsea Handler where her team made a video, edited with Adam responding to Adam as an alpha man. And you should see what she had to say. Rob, please play this clip, and we'd like to get a little bit of reaction.
If you guys are easily triggered, don't watch.
3 men in their 40s and somebody in their 20s.
If you're easily triggered, don't watch.
Go ahead, play this.
45% of working women ages 25 to 45 by 2030 will be non-married, no kids, single. Okay, so you might say, well, what's wrong with that? Okay.
I'll tell you what's wrong with that. Nothing. I usually don't do things like this, but when I have to listen to men talk like that, I have no choice but to sedate myself with drugs and alcohol.
And so, by the way, she listened to the video. She's doing that. That's intentional, what she's doing, by the way. It's intentional. She's doing that intentionally to make a point about Adam acting like a moron. Acting like a moron. Like, most of the time, the dude's pretty smart guy, but this moron.
I've been loud and proud about my status as a single, unmarried, childless, wild woman. And apparently some men cannot handle that. Every time I go on Instagram, I stumble upon SDE morons like this guy pontificating about how unhappy women like me must be.
Is.
If you think that you're going to be 45 years old, no kids, not married, and that you're going to genuinely be fulfilled in life because you made money, best of luck to you, honey.
Right. No, best of luck to you, honey. That clip was posted to an Instagram account called Alpha Motivation Zero. You got the zero part right, because anybody that follows that account is getting zero Pikachu. I'm sorry, but if the child-free joyride I'm on triggers you, here's a hint. If you need daily alpha content to remind you to be alpha, you might not be an alpha. Take it from an alpha. And the truth is, studies show that single women live longer and are happier.
Live longer and are happier.
Because they wake up every day and they don't have to listen to like you. Anyway, I have to go because my single unmarried ass is about to perform at my sold out comedy show. I'd invite you, but there are no tickets left. Bye.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. So what was your first reaction when you saw that, by the way?
Well, does anything scream, I'm so happy at chugging vodka at 9 a.m.? I'm so happy with my life as I'm funneling vodka as soon as I wake up.
Yeah.
So clearly she's triggered. Clearly, if
Yeah.
I'm in her
Yeah.
position right now, I'm doing everything I can to justify my life's decisions.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where don't get mad at me, Chelsea Handler. Get mad at the facts. All I was doing is reading a report from Morgan Stanley, pretty credible source.
That's not true. He wasn't just reading a
gave
report.
a report called the She Economy, right? Not the economy, the She Economy. And essentially what they did was state some facts about how modern day feminism has, I guess, empowered women to, work, get that bag, make that money. That's great. But what are the ramifications of those decisions? Well, the ramifications is you might end up like Chelsea Handler, alone, single, no man in your life, and just banging a bunch of random dudes that you meet on Hinge and Raya and Bumble.
This is the problem, right? Again, a lot of this problem comes from this country and hundreds of years of just believing that a certain demographic has the right to judge, jury, God, and Lord and Savior over another demographic. This is what this dude, Adam, is doing. He's acting like a moron. Like, he is completely taken out of context. I went over the Morgan Stanley. Let me stop the share here real quick. So I went over the Morgan Stanley thing. It does not say that this is going to lead to women somehow being unhappy. It doesn't say that at all. It doesn't say that in that Morgan Stanley thing at all. But again, the challenge and the problem is this guy believes that he's entitled to pass judgment over someone else. Like, he wholeheartedly believes that 100% that he's entitled to do that. That's the problem. You can't point to something from Morgan Stanley and then ultimately, just because someone is single, not married, has no kids, okay, and then take it to modern feminism and saying because she decided to go make her own money and live her life the way that she wants to live it, that somehow that it's going to be an unhappy life for them. It makes no sense. And he's twisting a report to kind of make an argument and really trying to twist this report so that he can just literally just pass judgment, right? I mean, I just want you to think about what he's saying. Banging a bunch of dudes, someone in their 40s, a woman in their 40s, banging a bunch of dudes. He never mentions about the same guy who's in their 40s banging a bunch of women, pursuing money. Right? He never talks about the guy who's single, who's in their 40s, that is pursuing money, right? That's banging a bunch of women. He doesn't mention that. He doesn't talk about that. Like, it's idiotic. Now, listen, I'm a guy, right? Raised 2 children, right? Raised 2 women, I should say, 3 children, right? 2 women, right? One was my own, one technically was not my own, although we never mentioned step in our family, right? Raised 2 daughters. And to think that society feels, and again, it's a certain demographic in society, just take a look at Adam, who believes that they can just judge and be judge and jury and set this road down from women that these women believe that they have to walk down in order to be happy. It's unbelievable that today in the 21st century, in 2023, that men like Adam still think that way. Who says that because you're in your 40s and you're not married and you don't have children, that you're going to be unhappy? What he should have said, and what he should have made a point about, is any person who doesn't have a significant person in their life, single, not married, doesn't have children, couldn't be unhappy. Why? Because you don't have any work. We're a human being. We're a species that loves being around other people and not just communicating, but connecting is the word I'm looking for. Well, if you're not connecting with anyone, sure, there's a chance that you might not be happy. But doesn't that apply to men also? Doesn't that same thing apply to a dude who doesn't have a significant other person in his life, who doesn't have children, living their life, maybe looking to build a business, establishing some income, growing some wealth? Isn't there a chance that that dude's going to be unhappy too? Why? What he's doing is he feels like he can be king, Lord, savior, and judge another demographic. And quite honestly, the reason why he believes that is because this country has led him to believe that. This country has led him to believe that. That's what we do. Why is it in the world, in this country, you can say all the great things about this country that you want, right? Why did it take until the 20th century, 1965, for all women to have the right to vote? Who came up with that? Why did that take so long? Why were there literal protests in the streets about such a thing? You ever think about that? You ever think about that? I mean, like, unfreaking believable to me that is even a thing. Unbelievable to me that is even a thing in the 21st century. And I'm telling you, this guy just thinks, okay, yeah, this is something that I can do. This is just a thing that I can do because this is where I live. And again, for me, it boils down to, why does this certain demographic believe that they have a right to be judge and jury, Lord and Savior, over another demographic, any demographic? Why is it that? That's the thought. Let me try to find this again here. Here it is there. I'm gonna play some more of this video for you. Let me share the screen. Take a listen to this other part here. Where do I want to go? Minute 5, 25.
And if that's what you want out of your life, follow the Chelsea Handler path. But
let me go to minute 5:25. And now let me let you guys listen to the
if
rest.
you want to be a beautiful feminine woman like our friend over here today, maybe you balance having a.
But if you want to be a beautiful feminine woman, no, that's not passing judgment. that's not passing judgment.
A career, but also understanding that you should also be a feminine, beautiful woman. Last point, she called herself, take it from an alpha. No dude wants an alpha chick with packing BDE telling him what to do. And I responded on Twitter, I don't know if we could pull that up. I said, maybe that's why guys like 50 Cent, Joe Coy, and the chef, whatever, I forget, Bobby Flay, basically hit it and quit it. Because, yeah, they'll bang you out, Chelsea, but they're not going to wife you up. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I think that is the what a woman is looking for. Newsflash, honey.
At the end of the day, I think that's what women are looking for. Like, who the F are you to say that?
Men don't want alpha chicks with BDE. Maybe that's why 50 Cent, Bobby Flay, and Joy K hit it and quit it. At 48, you're...
Now, I tried to find this post on his thread. I could not find it. Newsflash, honey. Men don't want alpha chicks with BDE. Maybe that's why 50 Cent, Bobby Flay, and Joe Coy hit it and quit it. At 48, your beauty and humor have faded. Now, I went on his post, his Twitter page, I guess. I couldn't find this post. You drown yourself with alcohols and drugs to sedate your sorrow. You drown yourself with alcohol and drugs to sedate your sorrow. Now go comatose for me, baby. Now apparently that's a sentence or a line from a movie. But just think about the arrogance in that post right there. Again, this is a sense of entitlement, thinking that he has the right to be judge and jury, Lord and Savior, over how another demographic. And the reason why I don't say women, because it's not just women, but he believes, his demographic believes, people like him believe that they have the right to be judge and jury, king and Lord and Savior, and dictate how another demographic should live their life. Let's go here to minute 5:25. Now, let me let you listen to the rest of it. Patrick Bet-David, smart. Let's listen some more.
Your beauty and humor, for sure, have faded. You drown yourself with alcohol and drugs to sedate your sorrow. And then I took a line from Wedding Crashers. Now go comatose for me, baby.
What do you think about this?
That was a lot.
It was.
I don't know about the hitting and quitting it situation. I'm not a guy. That's possible. I don't know. I got married when I was very young, and people seemed very unhappy about that.
Wait, you're still married?
I am still
God
married.
damn it.
I know.
Like, so he didn't, Patrick Bet-David again. I find it interesting that Patrick Bet-David never made a comment in either direction about Adam's video, about Chelsea's video. The only in one direction, oh man, that's right. Oh man, that's wrong. He didn't do it. He did point out something that I think is significant about Chelsea's past, a background that I think says a lot about this whole thing.
Do you know what happened to her when she was a kid?
Chelsea?
Yeah. Do you know what happened to her when she was a kid? So apparently, I was actually like curious to know, like, why is this girl so, she does not seem happy. Mm-hmm. And then you see some of her clips. Happy people don't try to convince people they're happy.
Right.
You know how somebody who is, what happened, Adam?
No, he's pulling up another.
You know how somebody is, trying so hard to convince you that they're good or they're happy or they're successful or they're smart. Mm-hmm. There's typically a very deep insecurity, pain. There's something there, right? Mm-hmm. So, for example, you ask Michael the question, who's the greatest of all time? Michael says it's unfair because there's a lot of different guys that came before me. He never says I'm the greatest of all time. You ask LeBron, LeBron says what? I'm the greatest.
I'm the best.
It's a different perspective. This girl's brother died at 7 or 8 years old, and a family had such a hard time with it that apparently they stopped, paying attention to her, and she went through that pain as a kid of what happened there. Okay, so
now that does say a lot, right? PBD, Patrick Bet-David, in the video, he was Mr. Switzerland. He did not take a stand one way or another on this. And Adam, I'm calling on Adam because that video, those statements is moronic. It's 1,000% moronic. Now let's listen to some more of Adam acting like a moron here.
Now she's relevant again.
Nobody cares about what she does with it. I generally don't care. Live your life, get married, don't get married.
Yeah, whatever.
I literally could care less about it. I don't wake up and think about Chelsea Handler, but who I do care about are the women that I speak to. We all know I do a show, Soscast, that I interview hundreds of wide variety types of women. Yeah. I've had women in their 40s break down in tears crying, basically saying, I'm alone, my eggs are frozen, I don't have a man, I used to be hot. Now guys don't look at me the same. I was fed a crock of shit by feminism. Mm-hmm. Okay? But taking it.
First of all, the reason if there are women out there talking about themselves that way, if there are women out there talking about themselves that way, it's because this country, this society sent them down a path. It's not, they sent them down a path. They sent them down a path. They have lived a life of having to be judged for being a certain kind of way and live their life a certain kind of way. And again, I'm a guy who raised children. 2 of those were ladies, and you could see it, the obvious judgment and having to feeling like they have to live their life a certain way, look a certain way, be a certain kind of way. And the men don't get the same thing. The men don't get that same kind of thing. Because who sets the barrier? Who sets the bar? Men do. Which men? Adam. Adam. And men like that, who think like that, sets a judge. Who is he, and why does he believe he has the right to say that she's past her beauty? She's past being funny. She's past it because she's 40-something years old. Who is he to say that? My challenge is with Adam, and again, men like that in that demographic, is believing they have the right, believing that they have this right to judge and tell women who they are and who they should be and how they should look and what they should do. That's my problem. Here's the fact. If any being, as human beings, we want to connect, if any being is alone, any man or woman that is alone, that doesn't have a significant other in their life and does not have children, there's a possibility and a chance that in stages of that life, they are unhappy. Both a man and a woman, not just a woman. And I think it's disrespectful of him to suggest that it's just the women demographic that fall prey to being unhappy. And Patrick Bet-David is going to bring a question and a comment, I believe, in either the post or the video and I want you to listen to Adam's response to that, which is completely non-responsive. He doesn't answer it, certainly not intelligently.
Get a step further. I also interview a ton of model volleyball that I was just at. We did Rolling Loud, we did Ultra, we just did Tortuga. Interview a ton of women who are all in their early 20s, in their mid 20s. And they're going down this path. I don't need no man. I don't need, like, all that. And to see the writing on the wall of what the future will hold, I think is what I'm most concerned about.
But that's two different things. You know, for a young woman going down a path of, I don't need a man, that is completely different thing. That's not what you said. That's not what you said when in this little 2-3 minute clip here. Let's take a listen again.
So you might say, well, what's wrong with that? Okay. Women ages 25 to 45 by 2030 will be non-married, no kids, single. Okay. So you might say, well, what's wrong with that? Okay.
Responding to Adam as an alpha man, and you should see what she had to say. Rob, please play this clip. Go ahead, play this.
45%
in their 40s and somebody in their 80s.
45% of working women ages 25 to 45 by 2030 will be non-married, no kids, single. Okay. So you might say, well, what's wrong with that? Okay. Be fulfilled in life because you made money.
Listen to this.
And that you're going to genuinely be years old, no kids, not married, and that you're going to genuinely think that you're going to be 45 years old, no kids, not married, and that you're going to genuinely be fulfilled in life because you made money. Best of luck to you, honey.
Right. You see what I'm saying? That's a certain demographic passing judgment on another demographic and feeling entitled and believing in his heart of hearts that he has the right to judge that. He is saying that a 45-year-old woman with no kids and is not married, it can't be happy in life. He doesn't say that about the opposite demographic, the men in that same situation. Doesn't say that. He's pointing it to women. And here's why I tell you why he doesn't say that, because Patrick Bet-David brought something up. He doesn't bring up another demographic. Check this out.
Just click on a link. What is it? 7.8 million?
Yeah.
7.6 million. She gets a lot of eyeballs. A lot of people follow her. She's admired by people from that space. If you actually go to the tweet that she tweeted and read the comments under her. So go to the video that she tweeted and watch the comments. So it's not like she's alone here. Zoom in a little bit. So is he wearing a suit? to a misogyny discussion, oh man, okay, there you go, the first one. The reason I chose to be single is because of men like this. There's an overwhelmingly large number of men with, what is it? Maturity of, what is it?
Maturity.
Maturity of babies who think it is my job to be the mother. Is it shocking I would choose fun vacations, doing stuff with friends and making money over that? And then some guy responds back, LOL, you let random men online dictate how you live your life. Remember your interview with Kumani, and all you could do is focus on the facts that he's a Muslim if it was strange. Anyways, so there's a lot of people. I'm almost 49, childless, unmarried, and quite happy to not have to pick up after a jerkwad man. I have my dog.
And this, again, I'm gonna speak to maybe who Adam Sosnick really is. I don't know, maybe. But I do think this is interesting. Remember your interview with Kumal Najani, and all you could focus on was the fact that he's Muslim. I don't know if he's talking to her. Is he talking to Chelsea or Adam? I don't know.
Fucking cat for the company. And I have it. I mean, that's the world.
Yeah.
So
I have my dog and my cat.
As long as she's got a vibrator, she's happy as hell. That's the comment right there.
She said.
And Pat, that comes from too, Adam. You guys know this. When she was on the Chelsea Handler show, which was like successful, and she was out there.
Used to be very funny 20 years ago.
Hilarious. The writers were dope. Everything was on point. Once that window closes, then you got nothing going on. You're sitting there drinking. She has to come at people like you to make herself relevant again. I'm really good friends with Joe Coy, and I think that whole going on.
So somebody said, okay, Adam, so you're saying she's this, she's in her 40s, she's that, she has no kids, she has no this. You're in your 40s, you're not married, you have no kids.
You're in your 40s, Adam. You're not married and you don't have kids. This is exactly what I was saying. And I want you guys to really, really pay attention to the non-answer to this question, because he doesn't answer it. And Pat and PBD lets him off the hook, by the way.
Why can you judge her, but people cannot judge you? That was a question that was asked. I think it's a very good question for you to respond to.
I think I get that question all the time. Are you basically saying that men and women are the same? I think it takes.
That's not the same. That's not the question. The question was not, do you think men and women are the same? The question is, why do you, Adam, get to judge another demographic, but you are protected from judgment? Why do you think that you're able to judge another demographic? That's the question. Was not whether or not what is it? What did he say? Do you think men and women are different? That wasn't the question, bro. You didn't answer the question, and PBD let you off the hook.
It takes years for a man to mature, to reach his status. You know, they say that men are success objects and women are beauty objects. By the time you're 40, Chelsea, your beauty has faded. No, have you ever seen the sexual market?
By the time you're 40, oh, your beauty has faded. I mean, think about that. I'm sure he took all of this stuff off, because I don't see it on his Twitter anymore. By the time you're 40, your beauty has faded, Chelsea. And again, the arrogance of a certain demographic, believing in their heart of hearts that they can just judge, just jury, Lord and Savior, God, over another demographic and say, your beauty, it's past. And the thing that is most challenging for me is that a lot of women fall prey and fall victim to this. Why in the world would a woman come on his show or any other show and saying that they're in their 40s, they're not beautiful anymore? They're not loved anymore. No one's going to love me now because I'm in my 40s. Who programmed them to think that way?
Value chart. Men are judged on their resources, their money, their age, their income, their game, their personality. There's a whole host of things that men are judged on, okay? Women, 80% of the chart is their beauty. Like, newsflash, guys like pretty women, all right? You're a model, congratulations. Like, you wouldn't be modeling if guys found you unattractive. That's what men are judged on. And I speak to so many young guys out there that are 19, 20, 25. They haven't hit their mark yet. Women aren't paying attention to them. They have no money. They have no game. They have nothing. I'm like, dude, it takes time to marinate. Women reach their success on the front end, okay? I know plenty of girls in Miami that are 21, 25.
Women reach their what on the front end? This dude is acting like a moron.
Okay? I know plenty of girls in Miami that are 21, 25 there that are 19, 20, 25. They haven't hit their mark yet. Women out there that are 19, 20, 25. They haven't.
So the dudes haven't hit their mark yet in terms of being successful and achieving success when they're young. But for women, it's the other way around.
Hit their mark yet. Women aren't paying attention to them. They have no money. They have no game. They have nothing. I'm like, dude, it takes time to marinate. Women reach their success on the front end, okay?
Women reach their success on the front end. Ugh. Adam, come on, bro. You're better than that. It's sad to hear in the 21st century from a man who's 40-something years old say and make an idiotic statement like that. This dude is 40-something years old. Sad.
I know plenty of girls in Miami that are.
Listen to him continue to not answer this question as to what the real question is. You're 40, you're in your 40s, you're past 40, you're in your 40s, you're single, not married, and you don't have any children. Why do you think it's okay for you to judge and yet not be judged? That was the question. Let's continue to listen to him not answer the question.
21, 25, who basically get invited on yachts, billionaires' yachts, just because they're pretty. I'm sure you've been there. You're on Palm Beach.
Yeah.
You get it. No dudes are getting invited on yachts. You need to work your ass off to buy the fucking yacht.
Yep.
Okay? So men and women are not the same. And the difference is my outlook, my perspective. I'm not that dude being like, I'm single, bro. All I do is smash, and that's what I want to do the rest of my life. It's like, no, I've had my fun. I've done it all. I've made money. I've made connections. Now I'm actually looking for the next phase of life. Mm-hmm. So no, the two are not the same.
But the point to the question is, Adam, please stop acting like a moron. That wasn't the question. The question was, why do you believe you have the right, my guy? Why do you believe you have the right to judge another demographic? That was the question. And you didn't answer it. You went sideways on another tangent. You didn't answer the question. And the answer to the question is because in this country, a certain demographic, your demographic, has been taught, raised up to believe that you have the right to judge another demographic. That's why. This is not about men and women being different. Everybody knows that men and women are different. That wasn't the question, bro. And you just went around it, start ranting on about nonsensical, idiotic stuff that did not pertain to the question. So here's my thing. Why did Patrick Bet David go run to Switzerland? He just ran to neutral land there. Didn't respond. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it is? Number one, because he's smart. Number two, because he's married and he's got 4 kids. And I don't know if 1, 2, or 3 are girls. I don't remember the numbers. That's why. It's because he's lived a life of raising kids and being married. And because he has lived that kind of life, he understands how idiotic that statement is. How it's idiotic to make a statement like that. To use a freaking stupid thing from Morgan Stanley to try to use that to leverage to pass judgment on another demographic. That's what he did. That's all Adam did there. It's from Morgan Stanley. It's the rise of the she economy. All he did was use that for him to be able to leverage that, but again, to pass judgment on another demographic. That's the whole point of it. That's why he did it. It ain't about trying to save women that he has in his podcast audience. It's because he believes he has the right to be judge and jury over another demographic, Lord and Savior, God, whatever you want to call it, over another demographic. Guys, and let us not forget that it wasn't until the 20th century in 1965, where the 19th Amendment, I believe it's the 19th Amendment, passed, right? Ratified and passed, that gave all women the right to vote. Prior to that, this country believed that women, certain demographic of women, didn't have the right to vote. And prior to 1919, this country believed that women didn't have the right, that women weren't equal to a certain demographic, in this country especially, that has to change their thinking. This is, I can't believe that in 2023, this is allowed, and that people would not be going off on this dude for saying this stuff. Again, I don't see the post on his Twitter. I don't see it there. I don't see it there. But I do have a question for you. Maybe, I don't know the guy. Maybe he's not acting like a moron. Maybe this is who he is. Take a listen to this.
Live look at Vice President Pence. Great job tonight, VP Pence. Great job. Thank you, sir.
Did our best. Chairman?
Great job. Good to see you. I missed your walk.
Yeah, I just straight up lied to his face. But that's what politics is. Just straight up lying to people's face. Told him he did a great job. He didn't.
Maybe, I don't know the guy, but maybe that's who he really is. Anyway, I just wanted to do that because I wanted to do this video a little off, right? Not a crypto video, but I wanted to do that because I just think, it's horrible. And it's crazy to me that today in the 21st century, that kind of thinking is still just kind of perpetuated, and just, it's idiotic. It's 1000% idiotic. And he didn't answer the question. The question was, why do you think you're single, you're in your 40s, you're not married, and you don't have kids? Why do you think that you have the right to judge a woman in that same situation? Again, for me, it's judging a demographic, because I believe people like Adam and that demographic believe that they have the right to be judge and jury, Lord and Savior, God, King, whatever you want, over any demographic that they choose. That, my friends, is the real problem. All right, guys, listen. This wraps it up. This is not your XRP Ripple Daily News. This is just on another thing. Let me know in the comments if you think I should do more videos like that. Let me know in the comments if you think that I should. Listen, guys, never forget this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.